Well, in just 5 or so minutes, I wanted to give you a quick update about how our kids and youth ministry is going. And as I start this, I just wanted to also say thank you to Michael as well, because as you see these things and the good news stories that I'm going to share, a lot of this is because of Michael's leadership and empowering, and I find him to be a very empowering leader. And so I just want to say thank you to Michael as well as I share these things. And it's a great team to be part of. I've really enjoyed the honour of being part of the team over the last 3 years. Well, we've just heard about the facilities, and I'm excited about the improved facilities because of the way that they'll help us facilitate our ministry and these kids' ministry things that I'm about to share with you. And you'll see that this year in particular, we've seen great growth in a number of areas, and so new facilities will help us facilitate that ministry as we move forward. And so I'd love to share with you about our kids' holiday clubs, Sunday Kids and Village Youth. Of course, there's other programs that happen, such as SRE, which I'll touch on briefly, but just these 3 ones in particular, with a question for you to consider, which is, how could God use you as we think about these ministries? And so first up, our kids' holiday clubs. So in 2025, last year, we ran 4 kids' holiday clubs: the Lost City of Gold, Spacewalk, Journey to Narnia, and Pirates of Treasure Island. And across those 4 holiday clubs, we saw 60, 75, 86, and 69 kids come along. Absolutely incredible. And each time, the limiting factor only the number of leaders. And then just on Tuesday, we had our first for 2026 Journey to Neverland, and we welcomed 99 kids, which is pretty incredible. On this little graph behind me, you can see over the last 2.5 years we've been running these, the way that God has been blessing this ministry. And so I do praise God for that, and also thank all of those leaders who have been involved, because over the holiday clubs, we've seen 561 registrations total across those holiday clubs, which is absolutely phenomenal for a church of our size and scale. And so I wanted to pause and say thank you particularly to anyone who's been a leader or has been a helper at our holiday clubs. And I just wondered if we could put our hands together to thank those people who have been involved. And some of the wins we've seen off the back of the holiday clubs is that this program helps energise and engage our SRE in local schools. And as a result, we've seen increased SRE enrolments in the past 12 months off the back of these holiday clubs. It's also a great way for us to encourage and grow the faith of the young people in our church. As they come along, they're encouraged in their faith, and they're emboldened to go out and invite their friends along the next time, or to invite them along to church, or to tell them about Jesus and the fun they've had at our holiday clubs. And the great thing that we've learnt as well is that these programs, supported by a devoted team of leaders who come back time and time again with a real sense of ownership, has been an incredible blessing. And so building teams that serve with a sense of ownership is something that's top of mind for me, thinking about kids and youth moving forward. And so we have our next Kids Holiday Club Time Travellers coming up on the Friday, the 17th of April. And our limiting factor in terms of who can come will be the number of leaders. And so is there an opportunity for you to serve? Is this something that you are able to serve in, gifted to serve in, and would like to serve in? I'd love to talk to you more about that as we really reach the kids of Mosman with the good news of Jesus. And so, as I've said, the key learning from the holiday clubs has been this value of a team. And so with that in mind, let's think about Village Youth and Sunday Kids. First, Village Youth. So in 2024, when I stood before you last Vision Sunday, I shared that our average for that year, our first year, had been 14 kids on a Friday night. Last year, we saw that increase a little bit to 16 kids, which is good. It didn't go down. That's wonderful. And then in Term 4, we saw 20 kids every Friday night in Term 4, with a little asterisk because on Halloween, people went trick-or-treating. And so it didn't happen. It was on a Friday. But that is an incredible position to be moving towards. And I think marks a real year of consolidation as we step into Village Youth for the 3rd year. That's what we want to see. We want to see kids who are committed to coming, who have tried out over the years that, oh, is this for me? And are deciding, yes, this is for me. And so we're seeing kids who come along every week who are becoming regulars as opposed to dropping in, dropping out. And so praise God for that. now leading our village youth this year. So Michael's talked about some of the staffing changes, and so I'll continue to oversee village youth, and I'll be there. For example, this Friday night, we're launching for the year. I'll be there this Friday night and a few others during the term. But Luke Morris, he's been our student minister the past year and has been a real valuable asset in youth. And so he will be coordinating youth and week to week really sort of taking charge of that. And I have great confidence in his ability to do that and to connect with the kids. He's well respected and well loved. And we also have Josh Spencer, you've heard about. He's currently running some programs just next door, and he'll also be helping out with kids and youth on a Friday night, along with the other leaders that we have each week. So thinking about that team, let's think about Sunday Kids Ministry for a moment. And so some wins that we've had in Sunday Kids Ministry this past year has been that I believe we've been able to deliver high quality, consistent biblical teaching to kids. We've had that in years past, but to make that really consistent, I think has been a big win, as well as growth in our Cubs program, our youngest kids. And the reason why I'm really excited about the growth in Cubs is because that is the future of the church, right? You start at the bottom, and then those kids, they work their way up through the program. And so what we want to see is great growth there, which we've seen with sort of 10 plus kids each week on a Sunday, 15 kids in Cubs, a real blessing. And so we've been blessed in the Sunday Kids Ministries by long-term leaders like Gingy Crowther and Zoe Anderson, as well as the student ministers over the last year that have really helped make an impact, as well as Rosie, who had a key role in that last year as well. And so what's next for kids ministry, and it's kids and youth, but kids in particular, is to build a team. So in the holiday clubs, we've got this great team, devoted. They come back each time with ownership. And on a Sunday, I'd love to see us build really a team, moving away from sort of just a roster, but a team who are working together and delivering great quality kids ministry together. And so I'll be overseeing our kids ministry, and we've brought on Ellen, who works one day a week on a Wednesday, and she's helping coordinate, facilitate, plan and prepare our lessons so that the burden of that kind of preparation for our leaders is reduced and our consistency is increased. And even just this morning, I've seen some of her handiwork, and the program's running really well with that extra piece, which I'm very excited about. And so, how could God use you in kids ministry, in Sunday kids ministry? I was reading in Titus 2 this past week, and just reminded of this biblical principle of older men and women teaching younger men and women about the faith and handing on the faith. And so I want to say to you that we need men and women to commit to kids and youth ministry to support the momentum that God has been already blessing us with these past 2.5 years or so. And so what are some ways that you could consider serving? I've just got 3 ideas. There's other ways you could serve as well. But my first idea is to serve once a month. Consistency and being there to show up for the kids, they really value. They really notice it when we're there on a regular basis. So consider serving once a month. That's only one Sunday every 4 to 5 weeks. Very doable, very achievable. Serve as a family. If you've got older kids, maybe youth-age kids, would you consider serving, once a month or so as a family in Cubs or in kids, and doing that as a family? A great way to grow in your faith together and to disciple your kids while you're also teaching and learning together. And then serve where there's need. There's great need in here, in this place, and in those spaces there in kids and youth. And so where is that need? I'd love to talk to you more about that, but being open to serving where there is the need so that we can respond to God's blessing with service and devotion to Him. And so that's a little bit of an update about our kids' holiday clubs, Sunday kids, and village youth. And the question I'd love for you to consider and go away and pray about is, how could God use you? Because sitting here, I know that there is a great team of kids and youth leaders ready to disciple that next generation as we see God continue to bless what He's been doing these past few years. So God bless and thank you.